Hi everyone, and welcome back to another special, tear-jerking episode from Popcorn with Spice. On today's episode, we'll be ready for depression as we take a second look at some of the saddest moments from Nickelodeon's SpongeBob SquarePants. So without further ado, grab yourself a tissue, and let's begin. Fools in April. First up on our tear-jerking moments from SpongeBob is the episode Fools in April. Fun-loving SpongeBob seeks to celebrate April Fool's Day by playing impractical jokes all over the Krusty Krab. Squidward, ever the party pooper, gets sick and tired of watching the pranks unfold and decides to orchestrate a prank of his own to get back at SpongeBob. Of course, Squidward takes the joke too far and SpongeBob ends up in a trash can completely humiliated and runs off crying, invoking the sympathy of restaurant goers. Squidward tries to justify his actions, claiming, "It was just a joke." Fortunately, his conscience gets the better of him, and he goes over to SpongeBob's house to make an apology. Unbeknownst to him, the whole of Bikini Bottom would just happen to be at SpongeBob's house at that very moment, turning the tables around and this time, embarrassing Squidward. You know what they say, what goes around comes around. Squidward's Depression. The next moment on SpongeBob that had us whimpering in tears was from the episode Squidward's Depression. In this episode, SpongeBob set out on a mission to find Squidward his happiest memory. But in a chain of unfortunate events, all SpongeBob's efforts just caused more sadness for Squidward, and in no time, he was thrown into depression. No longer cleaning up or looking after himself, he wallows in his own misery all day, and he stopped leaving the house as well. While a running joke on the show is of Squidward being the cranky victim of a lot of SpongeBob's well-meaning antics, this particular episode would really hit a nerve with anyone who has been diagnosed with clinical depression. Toward the end of the episode, however, Squidward manages to find happiness again by going into a maniacal rampage and ripping to shreds papier-mâché replicas of SpongeBob. Texas. There's a popular saying that goes, "Home is where the heart is." And Sandy Cheeks felt it in the episode Texas, where Sandy started to get a little homesick and wrote a sad country song all about how she missed home. If the sad strums about Sandy's guitar didn't strike a chord, pun intended, in your hearts, then I don't know what will. As if the agony wasn't enough, Sandy actually makes the decision to leave Bikini Bottom for good. And she would have gotten away with it too if not for that meddling sponge, who proceeds to throw her a surprise Texas-themed party. Sandy soon realizes that Bikini Bottom has become her new home and she has a change of heart and decides to stay. This just goes to show that true friends will always be there to get you out of a sad place with love, ingenuity, and surprise Texas-themed parties. Whatever happened to SpongeBob? The next sob moment happened in the episode Whatever Happened to SpongeBob, and oh my, is it a tearjerker. In this episode, SpongeBob experiences a series of bad luck back-to-back that affects his friends. He gets the mailman into an accident. He breaks Gary's shell. He ruins the birthday cake Patrick made for his mother. He disturbs Squidward's beauty sleep. Again, he destroys Sandy's robot and accidentally deep fries Mr. Krabs' money as well as himself. This leads to his friends getting upset with him, asking him to go away and referring to him as Idiot Boy. SpongeBob feels miserable and proceeds to run away, leaving an absolutely gut-wrenching letter in his wake. To add salt to this wound, SpongeBob runs away and ends up bumping his head, which makes him lose his memories. As the episode progresses, the whole of Bikini Bottom is thrown into chaos with no one making Krabby Patties, and his friends go out looking for him after finding his letter. This episode was especially sad because of how abandoned SpongeBob must have felt the entirety of the episode, and I guess we've all felt that way before. Luckily for him, his friends made him remember that no matter what, they'll always be there for him. Friendship 1, amnesia causing rock 0. Patrick Smartpants. Next up on our list of soul-crushing moments from SpongeBob is the Patrick Smartpants episode. SpongeBob and Patrick have been best friends and a dynamic duo since they were little aquatic babies. One day, which seemed like the perfect day for jellyfishing, Patrick jumps off a cliff and literally knocks his head off, and SpongeBob accidentally screws on brain coral instead of Patrick's actual forehead, which causes Patrick to gain knowledge and intelligence, and he loses interest in his old hobbies. He then informs SpongeBob that he can no longer play with him. At the end of this episode, Patrick is miserable, and he starts to miss his square companion. Using his advanced intellect, he's able to deduce the source of his newfound intelligence and gets his actual forehead back, saying his newfound knowledge is not as important as friendship. We'll wait for you to grab some more tissues. Have you seen this snail? Finally, the last but certainly not the least is the episode Have You Seen This Snail? SpongeBob gets so preoccupied with the trendy paddleball challenge that he begins to neglect his pet snail, Gary, and forgets to feed him. This causes Gary to run away and go into town. SpongeBob isn't aware that Gary has left the building until a week later. And when he finds out, he's left feeling distraught and guilty and abandons the challenge completely to seek out Gary. This episode was the poster child of SpongeBob's sad episodes, as it introduced us to arguably the saddest song from the entire season, Come Home Gary, which is played during an eye-watering montage of SpongeBob and Gary's relationship through the years. Like all SpongeBob's episodes, there is a happy ending, and SpongeBob is soon reunited with his pet Snail. Well, that's it for today's video, folks. Tell us in the comments section what SpongeBob episodes made you shed a tear or two. And don't forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more content about your favorite shows. You can also hit the notification bell to stay informed whenever we post a new video. And you can also check out some of our other videos. As always, thanks for watching.